Hello. Right, time for part 2 of our constructions. So in part 1 we're dealing with angle bisectors and perpendicular bisectors and various other bisectors. This time it's constructing triangles. And to accurately construct triangles, basically we need 3 pieces of information to do this. First type is where we get the length of 2 sides and 1 angle. Then we get one where we've got 2 of the angles and only 1 side. Or we might know all 3 sides. And the last one is where we have a right angle, a hypotenuse, and 1 of the sides. We'll go through each one in turn. Now for these, being constructions, we're going to need our compass, we're going to need our ruler, and we will need a protractor. Okay, so hopefully you've got all of those. And I'm going to throw a pen in there for good measure, which we should have all of these anyway as part of our set. So I'll move those out of the way, and we go over the page to our first one, and that's an SAS triangle. So that's side, angle, side. So we have one side, one of the angles, and the other side. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, each step, I'm going to draw AB with our ruler. Okay. So I'm going to draw. AB is 6 centimeters long. So I'm just going to draw a line 6 centimeters along. Okay. And I'm going to label that. Got A, B, because that's line AB. Now we know that angle B is 68 degrees, so that means the angle here is 68 degrees. So when I line up my protractor, and I'll zoom in for this one so we can see it a bit more closely. Okay, now what it helps to do with these, make that into a bit more of a solid end to it. So I can line up the end of that line, and I line up my 0 with the end of that line. We can see that it's set up there. Okay, and my angle is 68 degrees, so we'll go from the 0 here on the outer scale and around to 68 degrees, which is there. Okay, and I can now draw a line, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use my pencil for this one. I'm going to draw a line that goes all the way up. Okay, because we know that line from B to C, basically what we're looking at is at the moment we don't know how long that line is. Now the last point of the triangle, well, AB, it will be C, and it tells us here that BC is only 5 centimeters. Okay, so when I put that down, I can now come back to my line and I can measure 5 centimeters from that point, and this dot point here, that will be point C. So that means this is my side of BC, and because they have to meet, all I need to do now is join up A and C, and there's my triangle. So I've had 6 centimeters there, the angle was 68 degrees, and that side is 5 centimeters. Okay, we didn't need to know that angle and we didn't need to know that side, but we have all of that information now to hand for us. Okay, so that was side, angle, side triangles, nice and easy. So now we'll work with our next one, and that is where we get an angle, a side, and an angle. Okay, now the first thing we deal with, let's do that. I'm pointing at that, I haven't zoomed out so you can read all of that information. So yeah, angle, side, angle. So we've got a side and 2 angles to work with on this one. Okay, so I'll zoom back in and we can work our way through this. Now the first thing, we have a line of 10 centimeters. So again, I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to draw a bit more central there. So from 0 up to 10. Okay, and apologies if it's not exactly 10 on the video, I'm looking at it from an angle. So again, I'll label that because that's line AB, so that's A and that's B. I'm just going to make a little mark on each of those, okay, so I can line up my protractor a bit better. So angle A, which is at this end, is going to be 35 degrees, okay. So again, because it's at A, when I line up my protractor, and I'll move that over a bit so you can see clearly, line up the dot with there, and I'm going to line up the 0 with the line, and we can see there that it's the inside scale. that is lined up at 0. So that's the scale we're going to use, not the outside. And this first angle is 35 degrees, so we come up 10, 20, 30. So that is going to be my 35. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a line from point A through that mark. Okay. And at the moment, I'm going to go much further than I need to. Okay. You'll see I've gone off the camera with that one. Okay. Because we don't know yet where this point is, where B is going to end up. So all we know is they're going to meet somewhere along this line. Okay. Now, angle B, so the angle here, is going to be 115 degrees. So again, I'll line that up, the center with the center of B, and this time we are lined up with that 0, because that's where our line runs from A to B, so we're lined up on there, which means we're now using the outer scale. So I'm going to come round from there, and what we've gone past the 90, so we've got 115, so there we are. So we're 115 there. Again, I'll move those out of the way. And now, what I can do, I think I'll zoom out a little bit so this makes a bit more sense. So now, from there, from point B, through the mark that we've just made, I can draw a line now, okay? So what we have, this is 10 centimeters. This angle was 35 degrees, and this angle is 115 degrees. And what that means is, because we weren't given any of the side lengths, where they meet up here, that will be point C. So we can now finish drawing our triangle. Okay. And this is what catches people out with this one, because they expect our triangles to be nice, small and neat. But here, we've ended up with a scalene triangle, haven't we? When basically scalene triangle, none of the 3 sides are equal and none of the 3 angles are equal. So we'll be okay there. Okay. That's point 2, angle, side, angle. So now we're on to side, side, side. So here we're given all of the sides but none of the angles. Okay. So again, I'm going to draw length AB, which here we say AB is 4 centimeters. Now this is a smaller triangle. So what we're going to do is zoom in again. So while you can't see the instructions on the page at the moment, I'm talking through them. Okay. So AB is only 4 centimeters. So again, we go 4 centimeters across, and we've got A and B. Now, as we look, we've got lengths for side BC, which would be BC, wherever that goes, and we've got a length for AC, and it's wherever those two cross. And because we don't have an angle, we don't know exactly where they're going to cross. So I'm going to do BC first. So if you just slide down, we can see that BC is equal to 3 centimeters. So what that means is, I'm going to use my ruler, take my compass, put the point on the 0, and I'm going to close it to 3 centimeters. Okay. And it's from B to C. So if I put the point on B, and I draw an arc, every point on that arc is 3 centimeters away from B. Okay. And now I can do a similar one from A, but this time AC is 5 centimeters. Okay. So when I move this along with our ruler, this time, point at 0, and I'm going to open it up to 5 centimeters. Okay. And we can see that there. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And this time, point on A, and I do the same again. Draw an arc. Okay. And what we've got is a point where the 2 lines cross. And that will be point C. So now I can join that up to B. So there's line BC, and that's 3 centimeters because we know about that. Sorry, 4 centimeters it was, that one. And then line AC up to there, we know that was 5 centimeters. Okay. Now it goes without saying, because we don't remember this from doing the previous constructions, is we leave all the construction marks on our shapes as well, because that proves to them how we did it. Okay, and that brings on to the last one, which is basically it's a right angled triangle. So we know that angle B, sorry, I'm zooming out, I need to zoom out again, look at that. So we have right angle, hypotenuse, side. So we have a side there of 5 centimeters. We know angle B is 90 degrees and the side AC is 7 centimeters. So if I start, again it tells me to start by drawing line AB, and AB is 5 centimeters. So I'm going to draw that there. And you'll notice I've not drawn it near the bottom of the page this time. And all will become clear about that in a moment. Okay, so we've got, again, line A, B. Now something that's not really relevant to these tasks at the moment, but we can always remember, is when it's the corners of a shape, so the vertices, what we've got, we have capital letters, okay? And the sides are always done in lowercase letters. So it always helps us on that one. So here, we've got A and B, and now we know that B is 90 degrees. But again, we've no set square. So we need to be able to come up with a line through there. So what we're going to do, if we remember from the constructions, we're going to do a perpendicular bisector through a point on a line, and it's going to be going through there. Now to do that, what I need to do first is extend this line, okay? So I've extended that line out beyond point B. That's where we need to be, okay? Now again, I'm going to put my compass point on there, and I'm going to close it in so it's within the line, okay? So it doesn't go all the way to the end of the line. Now, I'm going to draw an arc across there, and I'm going to turn the compass around. I'm going to draw an arc across there. Now we remember from doing our constructions that means from point B to this intersection is equal as point B to this intersection. So these 2 points are an equal distance away from there. So that means we can take our compass again, put the point on where the arc intersects the line. I'm going to open it up to about 2/3, 3/4 of the way, and I'm going to draw an arc from below the B to above the B. Okay, keep the compass at the same length. I'm going to do that from this point here, and again from below the B to above the B. Okay, now we've done a little bit of work with these before, so we know that if we were to draw a line through the points where the 2 arcs intersect, like so, that line is our right angle, okay? And we're good with that. So we've got our first side, we've got our right angle. Now we just need to be able to put in line AC, so whichever that is. And AC is 7 centimeters. So I'm going to use my compass again. Point on the 0. This time it's opened out to 7 centimeters. And I put my point on point A, and I'm going to draw an arc, okay? Now that arc, I can do a huge arc if I want. I want to start really low, I'm going to come up and all the way around. Didn't need to, but that all it does is prove that we can do. I mean, if you really want to do, you could do a full circle. And what we're interested in is where this line, so this outer line here, crosses the right angle, which actually is here, okay? And that's point C. So what I can do now is I can complete my triangle down to there and then down to B. And that is my right angle triangle, because my original line was 5 centimeters, my angle was 90, and this line here is 7 centimeters. Okay, and that's it. And again, leave all the construction lines on it, because if they say construct, that's how they want to see it. They want to see it done. with compasses, with the arcs and all of those in place and in line. Okay, good luck.